Hey there everyone, I'm Brian, founder of SimplySub, and in today's product release announcement, we've got 33 brand spanking new amazing things to talk about that are available in your SimplySub workspace as of August 15th, 2026. This is one of our largest SimplySub releases yet. The August 15th update introduces integrated payment processing, significantly expanded QuickBooks online integration support, new document management tools, stronger estimating and invoicing workflows, and major mobile improvements. So without further ado, we've got a lot to cover today. Let's hop in, let's talk about each one of these. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to talk about SimplySub payments. This is one of the upgrades and updates that I personally am most excited about. So many of our customers have asked for the ability to accept credit cards and ACH bank transfers directly through SimplySub. Well, that day has come. It is now available to you. To set this up, head on over into the administrative settings I'm going to move myself here over in admin settings, then click on integrations. And then from here, you'll simply click on SimplySub payments. Now you'll probably need to manage or enable this to start, and that's okay. But once you go through the onboarding process, it is going to ask you some financial questions about linking bank accounts and all that kind of good stuff. So you can absolutely go through that secure onboarding process to get yourself enabled. Once you get yourself enabled, you're going to see a screen very similar to this, where it's going to show you online payments, customer changes, and bank payouts are all enabled. From here, you can also manage your payment account, which is going to include things like your address, your business name, linked bank accounts, personal details, and everything right from there. In addition, don't forget to sync your company branding. What that means is we're going to take the branding that you've set up within your SimplySub workspace under the account area right here and along with your colors, and we're going to make sure that that branding appears at your customer checkout point. So when they click on pay invoice online, they're going to see your logo, your branding, your colors. So that's very important right there as well. Now, there's going to be a slew of questions that come from this particular feature. So we are putting together a help article as well as any direct assistance that you might need. Feel free to reach out to us directly through the Get Help area right from here to answer any questions that you might have. The process is designed to be self-service, meaning that you can set this up on your own. You don't need much interaction with the SimplySub team, but we are here for you should you need a question answered or need some more information about how to set it up or what to expect and things along those lines. So credit card processing, ACH, bank transfers, absolutely 100%. Now with this being said, there's a couple of other neat little features. Let's head on over into the financials area. Let's click on an invoice and let's click on, we'll pick on this one here. Now in the invoice management screen, you now can also determine under invoice options which online payment methods are acceptable for this particular invoice. This is on an invoice by invoice basis. So this allows you to say, you know what, this is a $100,000 invoice. I do not want anyone to pay credit card for this. So you can absolutely turn off credit card, turn off Klarna, which is kind of a buy now, pay later, or an installment type of a payment option. And you can only allow ACH bank payments. Or if you do not even want to allow that, you can turn this off as well. And what that will mean is that the system will not allow any online payment options, meaning that they will have to pay through offline payment facilities, things like checks or something along those lines. So you do have complete control over that right from here, directly from the invoice options button within the invoice itself. So with this being said, like I said, you can have some fun with this, play around with it, let us know your thoughts, let us know your feedback. This feature is brand new, so we do expect that there will be some feature requests that come from it. So if you do have any ideas, product suggestions on how to make this even better, please share those ideas right from here. Moving on, so contractor documents. So one icon over to the right, contractor documents. You've probably interacted with uploading files and photos directly into your SimplySub jobs or customer records or really anything. Well, we've brought that out to actually relate to your company and your particular business. So contractor documents is a great way for you to actually upload documents that relate to your business. It could be direct deposit forms for your employees. It could be W-9 documents. It could be your employee handbook. It could really be anything you'd like. And you're not limited to just PDFs like you see here. You can upload images or really any other file types that you'd like as well. So this is a fantastic way for you to be able to simply collect the link to a particular resource. And then from here, you can send that out to either your employees, your vendors, whatever the case may be, very quickly and easily. And again, there's no storage limit, so don't be bashful. Feel free to upload as many documents and files that you would want to share not only with your employees, but also any contractors that happen to log in. This setting is 100% security controlled, just like everything within the SimplySub system. So if we head on over to Access and Security, and I'm just going to pick on this one here, you will see if we scroll down to the workspace, I'm going to move myself once again, expand this out, and you will see that you'll now have the option to access and view company files, add company files, delete own and others, and so on and so forth right from here. Again, keep in mind, green means it's turned on. The person in this security group has that capability, and gray means it is turned off, which means that they do not have that capability. By default, everyone in your system will have access to view company files and photos, and only those in the system administrator and office manager groups will have these others that are turned on. So just as a heads up, your employees, by default, they cannot upload directly into the company documents or the contractor documents. They'll only be able to view. So that's going to take care of that. Definitely let us know your feedback. Love to hear how else we can make it better for you, make it more valuable, make it more useful. But as we continue on, daily logs can now be exported as professionally branded PDF documents. So let's come into a job here. So we'll just pick on this job here, and then we'll come down to daily logs. And I'm just going to open this up to a bit of a date range here, just so we can kind of include a little bit more information. I'll come back to, I don't know, a month ago, and click on show log. So as you can see here, we've got about 110 labor hours, a bunch of other details here, but you now have this nice little button that says export to PDF. And what that's going to do is that's going to create a branded professional PDF document of your daily log for this particular job for all of the activity within your date range. You could run it for a single day, you could run it for multiple days, and now you can see you have it right here. Now again, keep in mind, this is branded for my demo environment. So it's got my logo, it's got my colors. When you do this in your environment, your logo will appear in the top left, your company details, your primary branding colors will appear right from here. But this is fully formatted, ready to print, ready to download, ready to send over, and it is going to include pictures and everything like that that you might want your customers to see. So this is a great way for you to basically package up a summary of everything that happened on the job and shoot it on over to the customer for them to review. So definitely don't be bashful. Feel free to export, play around with that, and again, let us know your feedback. Notes can now be organized into categories. This was another major update that we did. So when you add a note into the SimplySub system, you'll notice now that you have the ability to filter by category. It could be weather delays, it could be related to worker injury or work incident or safety incident or conversations with your customers. But when you add a new note, you'll see that there is an opportunity for you to select a note category. By default, we gave everyone a general note category to get you started, but you're more than welcome to click on Add New to create a new note category. You can use as many note categories that you'd like. Again, another great example would be like scheduled for delivery schedules, material deliveries, really anything like that as well. So this allows you to very quickly and easily be able to filter out specific notes within your job records relating to those categories. Now, note categories are not just related to jobs. You can absolutely come into, let's say, your customer record, and in your customer record, the same note category options will exist here. Keep in mind, though, the categories that are related to notes are specific to the type of record you're working with. So the note categories you set up for jobs are not going to appear in the note categories when you're working with customers or suppliers or employees. That's another really great use case. When you're editing and when you're working with your employees and your employee records, you can create note categories for things like disciplinary conversations or corrective action or whatever the case may be, and you can set those up right from here as well. Annual review notes or quarterly review notes, whatever the case may be, you can set those up very quickly and easily right from here. So moving on, so note categories, absolutely fantastic. And again, keep in mind, they absolutely show up on your daily log as well. So those note categories are great because under the daily log, again, I'm just gonna, let's see, do I have any notes here? Nope, not in this date range. So let's do a date range. I'll go back to, we'll just do August 1st, click on, date range, August 1st, and show log. And do we have notes? Still no notes. Bear with me. I'm going to go back a little further. August 15th or July 15th. There we go. So now I've got some notes. And if I scroll down to the notes area on the daily log, you'll see delay for weather, change order requests. So again, those note categories show all throughout the system. So my next thing that I want to talk about, this is really, really special. So many customers have asked for this, and I definitely thank you all for your patience while we got this to you. So the next thing is change is a change to the estimate system for terms and conditions. So let's head on over into the financials. Now this is actually a two-part update. So the first thing is under the financial settings, you will now see not only a brand new refreshed settings interface, but if you click on estimates and scroll down, you'll now see default terms and conditions. So if you're the type of company that has very long terms and conditions, maybe they're formatted terms and conditions too, where you bold things and you put numbered lists or you indent certain things or whatever the case may be, you now have full capabilities to add bolded items. You can have any other type of indentation. So if we wanted to do any type of indentation, so we'll say section 1, come in here, and then we can do subsection 1.a, whatever the case may be. You can set that up however you'd like, including any type of numbered lists as well. So if we come in here and just click on this, we can do item 1, item 2, item 3, so on and so forth. So your terms and conditions now can get very, very powerful inside SimplySub. And when you update this, this is going to show up on your estimates. Now, what I'm going to do super quickly is I'm going to grab some filler text. So I'm going to head on over to Lorem Ipsum. It's kind of just a filler text. I'm going to grab some basic filler text here just so I can kind of showcase this to you. And we'll copy that. And I'm going to update this accordingly. Now, I'm going to make let's just say I'm going to make this one bold, make it an H2, which basically means it's going to be a little bit bigger. And what we can do here is we'll do the exact same thing. I'll make this an a bold H2 and so on and so forth. All right, perfect. So now that I've updated the terms and conditions, let's go in and create a brand new estimate. So click on estimates, click on new estimate right from here, and we're just going to select a customer. We'll do Polikoff Residence, and we'll just tag it onto this 12308 Galway, and we'll show this is the product release example 2026-08-15. Perfect. And then what we'll do from here is we'll add a couple of line items. We'll just add some surge stone, we'll add some 57 stone, we'll add some asphalt hauling, and we'll add some, some concrete. So we've got our units of measurement, quantities. I'm just going to leave everything else default right from here, and we're going to click on Save Estimate. So now that the estimate is saved, up under the estimate options, this is where the terms and conditions are going to show up. So remember the terms and conditions, the default setting that we just set, they're all going to appear right here, which is really, really great. Now, if you wanted to change these, you absolutely could. These are now going to be specific to this estimate. So I can get rid of the comma, I can put an exclamation mark, I can change and modify these terms and conditions for this estimate. But once I'm done, I'm going to go ahead and click on Submit. Just as a reminder, under estimate options, you also have the customer display options here. In our previous release, this used to be a button generally in this area of the screen. We've moved it up to the top just to give it a more comprehensive purpose. It now is kind of handles all estimate options. But you can also turn off various columns that you'd like on the estimate. So if you are the type of contractor that offers like package pricing, where hey, these are all the services we're going to do for you, and then in the bottom right corner, this is how much it's going to cost you, getting rid of line item totals, quantities, all that kind of good stuff. All you'd have to do is simply just toggle every one of these off, and that will go ahead and give you just that experience. So I'm going to go ahead and do that here and click on update. So now that we've done that, let's take a look at what this will look like to a customer. So from here, let's click on view as customer, and you're going to see a couple of things. So this is an internal preview, of course, but now you're going to see a new button that says view terms. When I click on this, up is going to come the terms and conditions for that particular estimate, which is great. Now, the next thing that's really, really, really exciting is when the customer goes to accept the estimate. Watch now. So not only does your customer have a checkbox that says that they've read and agreed to the terms and conditions, but also the checkbox to accept the estimate is now gone. We've replaced it with a digital signature pad. So this allows you to very quickly and easily collect actual signatures from your customers on every one of your estimates. This is a huge step forward, and I appreciate and thank everyone who said, hey, this is great, but I'd really love a digital signature. So without any question, thank you so much for the ideas and suggestions. And again, this is how SimplySub works. If you've got an idea to make it better, let us know. We'll get working on some of those updates as quickly as we can. So digital estimates, terms and conditions, all available directly on your estimates right from here. So as we continue to move along in the estimate screen, this interface has been updated as well. You now have a very quick preview estimate link or button right here. You also can see any linked estimates directly from, or linked invoices, sorry, from this particular estimate. So let's come back to this estimate screen, and I'm going to look for, so you can see here, this particular estimate it's linked to 2 invoices, most likely progress invoices. If I click on edit and click on linked, now you're going to see both of those invoices right from here. So I'm looking at estimate 9061. I can see the estimate. I can even see which invoices were created from this estimate right from here, along with their statuses, total amount, balance due, and so on and so forth right from there. If we come back on over to the invoices, you're going to notice a very similar interface. You're going to be able to preview the invoice, edit the invoice, payments and refunds relating to that invoice, as well as you'll have the invoice options, which controls the online payment options that you're giving them, as well as the customer display columns. What columns you want your customers to be able to see on their invoices, much like the estimates as well. So with that being said, let's keep moving along. We've got a lot to cover here. Additional files can now be included. So there's 2 updates that go along with this. The first is, if you remember previously, when you clicked on send, it used to take a while for this page to show up, because what we were doing is we were generating a PDF preview for you, so that way you kind of knew what it would look like. Well, we've switched it around a little bit. Now with the inclusion of the customer portal, you now will see an online preview that's generated first. Then you have the PDF preview option still here, but it is going to be something that you will click on. You'll wait a moment while our system generates that PDF, and then you'll be able to see that right from here. So that's the first thing that has changed relating to the send interface, whether it's sending an estimate, whether it's sending an invoice, whether it's sending a purchase order, whatever the case may be. The second is going to be right here. You've got this attach files now. You can now add up to 5 additional attachments to your outbound message, including the message for your estimate, of course. So theoretically, you could have 6 total attachments. One is the SimplySub estimate, and then 5 other documents. Could be sample cards, could be non-disclosure agreements, could be work summary agreements, could be anything else that you might want your customer to have in the estimate or invoice email at the time that you send it. So this is great. So again, just simply click on attach files. You can go ahead and just drag them here, or you can simply click here and it will open up your file explorer, and then from there you can select which files you'd like. Don't forget, you still have the CC as well as BCC options in the event that you did want to CC or BCC either your internal team members on the estimate or invoice, or maybe even wanted to BCC yourself, so that way you could get a copy of that. So definitely don't forget about the CC and BCC options up here at the top. So With that being said, keep in mind that's not only for estimates, but it's also for invoices and everything else that you're going to be sending out. The payment history now appears directly on your invoices. So this is also a huge improvement. So if we come over to our payments here, let me just make sure that I got a couple here. So let's just take a look at invoice 5076. So let's come under invoices. I'm going to search quickly for 5076 and I'm going to click on view. So now you're going to notice that the invoice is going to be up here at the top, but then below that is going to be a complete payment activity, showing all payments, all refunds, all credits, everything related to the payment transactions relating to that invoice will now show up here. In addition to it showing up here, it will also show up to your customers under the preview. So you'll see a complete payment activity right down here at the bottom of the invoice, as well as if you were to generate the PDF, it's going to appear on the PDF as well. So again, you've got this nice clean PDF version showing all of that information as well. So with that being said, let's keep moving along. We've got a lot more to cover. So refunds are now processed directly through SimplySub. Absolutely. In the event that you want to process a refund, you'll simply go to the actual payment and then click on refund payment. It's going to ask you how much would you like to refund and what the reason for the refund is going to be. In addition to that, you've also got the ability within SimplySub now to have payment credits. So if we come in here and we record a payment, let me go ahead and get rid of this here for us. If we go ahead and record a payment, so I'm just going to go ahead and select the Polikoff residence again, you're going to see the system's going to automatically tell you, hey, this customer has unapplied payments or credits on their account. Do you want to apply those credits? You can say, yes, I do. Then you can simply put in the amount that you'd like to apply. Now, again, you can apply the credit automatically, or you can choose very specifically which invoice you want to apply those payments to or that credit to. So again, it just streamlines the entire process. Now, the very process of applying unapplied funds and credits is a complicated process. So we've streamlined that as well, giving you a very clear, plain English transaction summary, telling you exactly what the system is going to do, how it's going to apply the funds, how many credits or unapplied funds will be available afterwards, and so on and so forth, right from here. So with that being said, let's go ahead and round out our call here today. I think we're at about 20 minutes, 22 minutes. I want to definitely get through this here for you guys. So the next thing here is definitely payment receipts. Anytime that you want to send out a receipt, you definitely can do so right by clicking on send a receipt. The PDF will generate, and from here you can send out a receipt for that invoice. So again, super great, super simple, makes it nice and easy. Other than that, products and now services, this is kind of a small update. It's an incremental update. We're going to be moving in a direction that allows you to see more overhead costs related to your jobs. But in order to do that, we need to know what your costs are. So under system lists, if we come down to products or services, and then if we click on add new, you'll notice here down at the bottom it says your cost. So this is a brand new field, and it's going to allow SimplySub to understand better about what your costs for a service are versus how much you charge your customers. Once we understand those two values, then of course we will be able to kind of provide more details about the overhead costs that you have to cover within your operations. Jobs now have a dedicated project number. So again, if we come into a job, you can see here, we've got project number. You can add project numbers to your jobs. These are dedicated fields within the system under details, and you'll find it within the general area right here, and you can see project number. This can be alphanumeric, so it doesn't have to just be a number. You can absolutely put letters in there if you'd like as well. Some of you might call it a job number, project number. It goes by a lot of different names, but again, now you can have that available to you directly within SimplySub. The GPS tracking. So those of you that do opt in for SimplySub's GPS tracking service, you will now see a "You Are Here" marker on the map. This was requested by a couple of customers that were trying to find a lost asset. So it wasn't stolen or anything like that, just misplaced. And it was challenging for them to be able to figure out where they were in relation to where the asset was. So now you can actually see where you are in relation to an asset really, really far away. Again, assets can be vehicles, they can be equipment, it could be a trailer, it could be really anything. So again, keep that in the back of your mind. If you're interested in learning more about SimplySub's integrated GPS tracking, there's no contracts, there's no annual fees, there's no equipment fees. So it's really, really easy to get started with SimplySub's GPS tracking. But as we continue to move along here, let's see, I'm going through dedicated project number. New guided tours are available. I'm going to skip over that. Just know that without, prior to, you had a slew of product tours. You have even more product tours that are available to you now more than ever before. So that's going to kind of round out what we've introduced brand new. As far as what we have improved, number one, our QuickBooks Online integration is so much better. It is much more broad. So SimplySub now provides a much broader support for estimates, invoices, product services, payments, purchase orders, improved product mapping. So again, you can come into the admin settings, click on integrations, come down to your QuickBooks Online, click on manage, and you can now you can see how many products are mapped versus unmapped. You can even map those products right from within SimplySub. There's an auto match and auto mapping option. You can create new items directly in QuickBooks from SimplySub for each one of your products and services. So really, really slick, really, really cool as well. The setup, of course, has gotten much more simplistic and much easier for QuickBooks Online. The customer portal now includes more financial data, sending estimates and invoices now much, much easier. We talked a little bit about that already. Payment and refund history is now easier to explore on those on the invoices themselves. Let's see here. What else do we have here? I think we talked about just about everything. Oh, one other big one. The punch log. The punch log is now easier to see. The interface has been updated. So the font, the text on the screen is much bigger, as well as there is a new dedicated mobile view. So if you take a look, you'll notice that there's filters on the left-hand side, and we have rows for every one of the punch logs or punch records. But if we turn this into a mobile mode, just so you can kind of see, you'll notice now that the filters are kind of collapsed down up here at the top. You can expand them if you wanted to. But as we scroll down, you're now going to notice that every employee has their own card, and those cards are stacked on top of one another. So we're no longer representing the information as rows across. Many of our customers have said, yeah, you know what, that's good, but it's just kind of clunky on mobile. So now this screen has a completely new mobile interface. All the same functionality exists. You can edit, you can delete, you can do all kinds of really good stuff. You can see GPS in, you can see comments. It's just now mobile optimized for those mobile devices. So if you are looking at this punch log out in the field, on the job, on your phone, just know you absolutely have this really simple mobile interface for this. So file previews. Also, we fixed a small little bug in the file previews. So if your files had a very long name, there was a scenario where these buttons were pushed off screen and you couldn't actually get to them. Now on mobile, if I show you that as well, you'll notice that the buttons are going to appear underneath the file name, making sure that they are always available to you. Keep in mind, the file preview is not going to show you every one of the pages, especially in really big PDF documents with potentially hundreds of pages. We're only going to show you like the first couple pages. So in order to see the full document, that's where you would simply click on View Full File. That will then open up the file in a new tab on your mobile device or on your desktop, where you can absolutely interact with the entire file right from there. But other than that, I think that's going to do it for the August 15th, 2026 SimplySub product update release. Again, I know I went through each one of these. It was about 33 total updates and upgrades and bug fixes and things of that nature. We got through it in about 28 minutes. So again, that's less than a minute per feature, a minute per update. But thank you so much for your business. As always, we're here for you. We're dedicated to help continue to make SimplySub even simpler, even better for you. If you have any questions about this release or any of the updates in this release, please feel free to reach out to me directly at any time. If I'm not available, you are more than welcome to reach out to us through the Get Help, live chat, and so on and so forth right from there. But again, thank you so much for your business. Thank you so much for all of your continued feedback. You guys are helping shape the SimplySub system. I can't wait to show you what we have in store for the rest of August and even in September of 2026. We've already got a lot of really amazing features and upgrades that are coming just in the next month and a half alone. Thanks so much for watching. Bye now.